Paris, the city of lights, romance, and a really big tower. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. Built for the 1889 World's Fair, it was supposed to be temporary. People thought it was an eyesore. They wanted it torn down. Little did they know it would become a symbol of France. But what if someone tried to sell it? Not just once, but twice. That's exactly what happened. Meet Victor Lustig, a charming conman with dozens of aliases. He was a master of deception. Lustig traveled the world, using his wits to swindle the wealthy and gullible. He could sell anything to anyone, and he had his eyes set on a very big prize, the Eiffel Tower. Lustig knew the Eiffel Tower was expensive to maintain. He also knew about the public's mixed feelings. This was his chance. He devised a plan so audacious, so outrageous that it just might work. Lustig created fake government stationery. He meticulously forged official documents, ensuring every detail was perfect. His skill was unmatched, and his confidence grew with each stroke of the pen. He invited 6 scrap metal dealers to a confidential meeting, making it seem like an exclusive opportunity. The dealers, intrigued by the secrecy, were eager to hear what he had to say. He presented himself as a high-ranking government official, exuding authority and charm. His demeanor was convincing, and the dealers had no reason to doubt his authenticity. Lustig told them the Eiffel Tower was too expensive to maintain. He painted a picture of a government struggling with the costs, making his story more believable. He said the government wanted to scrap it and that they were looking for the right buyer. The dealers were astonished, but intrigued by the prospect. Lustig played on their greed, knowing that the promise of profit would cloud their judgment. He was a master manipulator, and he knew exactly how to push their buttons. He hinted that the winning bidder would be richly rewarded. The dealers were eager, their eyes gleaming with the prospect of wealth. They believed his lies without question. One dealer, André Poisson, was especially convinced. He saw this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and was determined to seize it. He fell for Lustig's act completely, convinced that he was making a savvy business move. The documents looked legitimate, and Lustig's demeanor was impeccable. Poisson paid a hefty bribe and the agreed-upon price for the tower. He handed over the money, believing he was securing a lucrative deal. He thought he got a steal, unaware that he had been expertly conned. Lustig's masterpiece of deception was complete, leaving Poisson none the wiser. Twice bitten, not shy, the second attempt. This is the story of Victor Lustig, a man whose audacity knew no bounds. Lustig took the money and ran. He fled to Vienna, a city where he hoped to lay low for a while. The streets of Vienna were bustling, but Lustig was always looking over his shoulder. Poisson was too embarrassed to go to the police. He couldn't bear the thought of admitting he'd been duped. His pride kept him silent, allowing Lustig to remain free. Lustig had pulled off the impossible. He had sold the Eiffel Tower, a feat that seemed unimaginable. His confidence soared as he realized the extent of his cunning. Emboldened by his success, Lustig returned to Paris. The city of lights and love was also the city of opportunity for him. He walked the streets with a newfound swagger. He decided to sell the Eiffel Tower again. This time he was more prepared, more confident. He crafted a new set of documents and found his next targets. He found another group of eager buyers. These men were just as enthusiastic and gullible as the first. They believed they were getting the deal of a lifetime. Amazingly, no one caught on to his scheme. The buyers were too blinded by the prospect of owning a piece of history to see through the deception. But this time, a suspicious buyer went to the police. He had his doubts and decided to investigate further. His skepticism led him to uncover the truth. Lustig managed to escape before they could arrest him. He was always one step ahead, using his wits to evade capture. His narrow escapes became legendary. The world was in awe of his audacity. Newspapers around the globe reported on his daring escapades. Victor Lustig had become a legend, a man who dared to dream the impossible. Lustig continued his life of crime, always staying one step ahead of the law. His charm and wit made him a master manipulator, able to deceive even the most cautious individuals. However, his luck eventually ran out. He was caught and extradited to the United States, where his criminal activities finally caught up with him. The authorities had been on his trail for years, and they were determined to bring him to justice. Lustig was sentenced to a lengthy prison term and was sent to the infamous Alcatraz prison. It was here, in the cold, isolated cells of Alcatraz that he spent the final years of his life. He died in Alcatraz prison in 1947, a shadow of his former self. But his legend lives on. Stories of his audacious cons and incredible schemes continue to captivate and intrigue people to this day. His name has become synonymous with the art of the con. The story of how he sold the Eiffel Tower is a testament to his cunning and the power of deception. It remains one of the most famous scams in history, a tale that has been retold countless times. So the next time you're in Paris, gazing up at the Eiffel Tower, remember Victor Lustig. Think about the audacity it took to convince people that he could sell such an iconic landmark, the man who almost sold it, twice. His story is a reminder of the lengths to which some will go to achieve their goals. Share this incredible tale with your friends. Let them know about the man who dared to dream big, even if his dreams were built on deception. Remind them, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. In a world full of promises and deals, always stay vigilant and question the unbelievable.